second page, it has level 2.
So we want to make sure that both of our pages are level 2. So we want to make sure that both of our pages are level 2. And once again, like if you don't have both of those printed off, then we can just follow on the screen. Should be pretty simple.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Don't we just add until we get the multiply questions? But don't we get to teach it?
Could you could you say that one more time?
Would we do it if we already have it done? Like teach it if we already have it done? Because that's what the other teacher said.
We want to make sure that everyone gets a chance to work the problems out. So we are just going to let people work it out and then we could discuss our answers.
Yes, ma'am, that's okay.
Okay.
Can we start now or?
Yes, please go ahead and start and we will do number 1 in a few seconds.
Okay.
Did you have a question? You had your hand raised.
No.
Alea, or is that a different name you have up on your screen?
Does anyone want to help us answer number 1? And keep in mind
I do.
there's more than one way. And let's all remember not to unmute until we're called on, okay?
Hey, Charlie.
Yes, ma'am. Can I see my answer?
Did you want to give your answer?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so how did you get to 20?
I did 10 times 2 times 7.
10 times 2 times 7.
Yes, ma'am.
So 10 times 2 would give us 20, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And then
So could you just do 10 times 2?
remember we have to have 3 hexagons. So 10 times 2 is a really good idea. I really like that idea. So what could we 10 times 2 is already 20, right?
So we could go to 1?
So we can go to 1. Good. So we went through 3 hexagons. We went through the middle. And we also started and ended on the outside. So that's a really good job. Does anyone else have a different answer? Does anyone want to raise their hand?
Andrea, you have your hand raised. Do you have another answer?
I got my answer by doing 5 times 2, and that gave me 10, and then 5 times 2 again. Can you do that?
I've got an answer, but
can you only do it twice if there is 2 of the numbers? Or
so
okay.
I like what you said with the 5 times 2. So what did you tell me that 5 times 2 gives us?
That would give you 10.
Right. So do you see anywhere else that we could go so that we could multiply to 20?
You could do the other 10. I mean the other 2, and it would give you 20.
Good job. That's a really good job. Does anyone else see another way that we could get to 20? Or do you all think that we should move on? I think since we have to be done in 30 minutes, we're going to move on to the next one.
On number 1.
one, where y'all put 10 times 2 times 1, and then y'all put 2 times 2 times 5. I don't have that. I have 6. I have 6, 4, 5, 7, 3, 2, and 11 on number 1.
Okay, so
Okay with that.
I think you might have the wrong worksheet. So could you just follow along on the screen for me?
He said head goal.
So if you don't have the worksheet with you, just follow along on the screen.
I have it.
I do. I was on the wrong page. Hey, Walker.
Okay, guys, let's go on to number 2.
I have a question.
Okay.
Why do we have to have 3?
Those are just the rules that we got when we got the worksheet. See, that's what the first rule tells us, that we have to cross through at least 3 hexagons. So at least tells us that we can have 3 or more hexagons.
I know about honeycomb paths. I've done it on Beast Academy Online.
That's really cool. If you could see, it was actually, this worksheet was inspired by Beast Academy. So that's really cool.
But the example, it has 4, 2, 5, 1, and 5.
Right. So if we look at the keyword, it tells us that it needs to be at least 3. So when we see that it says at least 3, it could be 3 or more. So it could be 3, 4, 5, all the way on up.
I'm sorry.
You're fine. It just can't be less than 3.
I get it.
So does anyone want to give me an answer to number 2?
Me? I do too.
Walker, what's your answer?
My answer will be 6 to 2, because 6 times 2 gives you 12.
So remember, we also have to end outside of the hexagon. So is there a way that we can connect 6 and 2 so that we can finish the path?
To 1?
That's correct. Good job, Walker. So 6 times 2 times 1, that's at least 3 hexagons.
I've got another one.
It starts and ends outside the hexagon and it goes to the center. Good job. Did I hear Max?
One. Yes.
Okay, Max, what's your answer?
So you start with a 2 that's on the outside corner. Then you connect it to the 1. Then you connect it to the 2 in the middle. Then you connect it to the 3.
Very good
So
job.
2 times 1 times 2 times 3 is 12. Good job, Max. That also works. Creative solution. I also remember Pauline raising her hand at some point. Do you have an answer, Pauline?
Yes, sir. I put the 2 at the top, to the 2 at the middle, to the 2 at the bottom.
Oh, okay. So if we do 2 times 2 times 2, then I think we actually end up with 8. So is there a way that we can readjust that path to make sure it equals 12?
2, 2, and 3.
Perfect. That works. If you went back to 2, it would turn into 24. But the way that Naya's drawn it now, this actually works out perfectly. Good job, Pauline.
Thank you.
So guys, let's move on to number 3 now. So let's get some answers for number 3.
Okay.
Alea, what do you have for number 3?
I got an answer.
Leia, I don't think your mic is working. Do you want to try typing out your answer in the chat?
I have an answer too. Me too.
Alea, it looks like there's a line of people behind you, so we can look at some of the other answers, and then if you can figure out your mic situation, or if you can type it out, then we can look at it later. So we'll come back to you. How about, is it Casson? Is that how you spell it? Pronounce it?
Kaysen.
Kaysen, okay.
Okay.
Do you have an answer for us?
Yes, you can multiply 2 times 2 and then go to the 2 and then go up to the 3.
Perfect, I think that works out. 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, and then 8 times 3 is 24. Good job.
What number are we on? I have an
We're on number 3 right now.
Okay. I have an answer.
Pauline, what's your answer?
3. I got the 2 at the top. 2. What is that 3?
Okay, there we go. I got the 2 at the top, to the 2 at the middle, to the 2 at the bottom, to the 3.
Perfect. I think that also works out. 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, and then 8 times 3 is 24. Good job, guys. Walker, what's your answer?
Go to the 3 at the bottom right, and then go up to the other 3 at the top, and then go down to the 2. Go down to the 2, and then go back down to the other 2.
So unfortunately, I think 3 times 3 is 9, and then times 2 is 18, and then times 2 again is 36. So we're a little bit over. So is there a way that we could fix this somehow?
Oh, yeah. Go to the, start at the 2 and go to the 3. Oh, who was that? And then go to the 2 again. And then go down to the 2.
Perfect. I think that works out. 2 times 3 times 2 times 2 is equal to 24. And if we look at all of our paths, I think I see a pattern. I think we have to have 3 2s, and then we have to have a 3. And that covers about all of the paths that we can make. I'm sure we can make a lot more paths with this one, but for the sake of time, I think we should move on. So is everyone ready to move on?
Yes, sir.
Then we go to the back of the page.
And do you see a number 4, Easton?
Yes.
Okay, I think, yeah, it is the back of the page.
Okay. Are we doing a package today?
Say that one more time, Easton.
It was big Pauline. That was Pauline.
Okay, I couldn't quite catch that. So if you can type out your question or comment, that'd be really helpful.
Pauline said, are we doing the whole thing today?
Unfortunately, because we don't have enough time, I don't think we'll have room to finish all of these problems, but we're gonna try to get through as much as we can.
Okay. How about we
Are you guys ready to start number 4?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So can anyone think of a path that multiplies up to 27? Easton, what's your answer? I see Silas in the chat has said 9 to 3 and then 1. And I believe 9 times 3 times 1 does equal 27. So good job, Silas.
It does.
I think that is a path that works. Does anyone else have an answer?
I have an answer.
I was trying to type in the thing, but it said y'all wanted me to do it on screen. So I got 2 times 3 plus times
2 times 3 times 3. Unfortunately, I believe that multiplies up to 18. So just a tiny bit short. But if we were to readjust it a
3.
tiny bit,
I got one.
who is that?
I think I have an answer.
I have an answer.
Hey guys, let's remember to stay muted and just raise our hands or give us a thumbs up so that way that we can see when everyone has an answer, because if we're all kind of talking over one another, it's going to be hard for us to know who to call on. And Michael will call on you since he can see you guys' names better than I can right now.
Chun, do you have an answer?
In the chat, I saw Max said 3 times 1 times 3 times 3, and that's 1. So good job.
I see Chun has also responded in the chat. He said 9 times 3 times 1, which also works. So good job there.
And Alea, I saw you try to say something. Do you have one?
Go all across the middle. Go do the 3 times 3. 3 times 3 equals 9 times 3 again would equal 27.
Good job.
Since we're running a little bit out of time, how would you guys feel about jumping to number 9 and trying a challenging problem, seeing if we could try to do the hardest problem on the worksheet? Are you guys okay with that? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Looks like I see a lot of thumbs up. All right, I guess we can jump straight to
How do you do that? How do you put a thumbs
there should be a
up?
reactions button on your screen, and then you click the reactions. There should be like yes, no, thumbs up, clap, a few other things. But that's only on the computer. It might be different for a phone.
If you don't see, you can just put a thumbs up and we can see that also.
Okay.
So does anyone want to try number 9 and give us a path?
Yes.
Ethan, what's your answer?
10 times 5. No, 10 times 12.
It's a little bit of a jump there since the 10 doesn't connect directly to the 12, but there is a way that we can express 12 in terms of 2 other numbers. So is there a way that we can use to readjust the path so that it's still 10 times 12, but using different numbers?
Do you see any 2 numbers on here that connect to 10 that when you multiply them give you 12?
Abigail, I saw your hand raised earlier. Did you want to suggest something?
10 times 4 times 3.
Good job, Ethan. So instead of using the 12, now we can express 12 as 4 times 3. And 10 times 4 times 3 is 120.
Sean put for his 3 times 4 times 10. Will that work?
Technically it is the same path, but since you're saying it backwards, it might count as another path. But can we look for different arrangements of hexagons?
I think Pauline has her hand raised.
I think you can do 6 times 10 times 2.
6 times 10 times 2. That gives you 120. Good job. That works.
But remember, we have to go through the center hexagon. So they do equal 120, but we didn't follow all of the rules.
Abigail, you have your hand raised. Do you have an answer?
I think 5 times 4 times 6. I need
Good
help.
job.
Does anyone else have an answer that they want to give before we go?
Me? I'll try.
Go ahead.
Maybe you could do 3 times 4 times 10.
That path does work.
5 times 4 times 6.
I need help. Can I please get some help?
Sure, what do you need help with?
Pauline, what do you need help with?
I haven't done 4th through 9 yet.
Could you say that again?
I haven't done 4 through 9 yet.
You're supposed to do 9, not 4 through 9. Okay?
So since we were running out of time, we decided to skip to number 9 just so that we could get a challenge before we left. So it's okay that you didn't get a chance to complete those. Just on your free time, you can do them on your own with what we learned today.
Are we doing 5, 6, 7, and 8 tomorrow? Next Wednesday?
Stop yelling.
You don't have to yell at that computer. I think they.
We will have a new worksheet next week. We have a new worksheet each week. So next week you can expect something new. But throughout the week you can work on these with what we've learned today. And if you know anyone here, you can talk to them to see if they got similar answers or if they got an answer that you didn't think of. But guys,
I've
unfortunately,
been talking to Sean on here because he's my best friend in school.
so you guys can talk to each other outside of class and see if you got the same answers or see if you got answers that the other person didn't get and learn something new from each other. Guys, unfortunately, that is all the time that we have today.